So in today's video, I'm going to talk to you guys about my experience gaming on a laptop and why it is one of the worst gaming experiences imaginable. And if you are thinking about putting all that money down on a brand new gaming laptop, please do not do it. You will be so sorry that you did, and you are going to regret your purchase. So I'm going to give you guys the rundown of what to expect when gaming on a laptop and why it is just not worth it. The portability is just not worth it for what you're actually getting out of the gaming experience. Because I assume if you are getting a gaming laptop, then gaming is your main premise for wanting to get that laptop, right? So, there are a lot of people who are into editing, who are into all that stuff, and need a very beefy, powerful computer that they can use on the go because they travel a lot. Maybe they're college students living in a dorm, and they don't want to have to pack just so much stuff with the the desktop and all that, and monitor and everything. They just want to keep it simple. And also when they're moving around campus, maybe going to the library or something, they want to use their own computer. And I can understand that perspective of wanting to, get a powerful laptop that, might cost you $1,000, $1,500 at most, but you'll get a pretty good, for what you want to do out of it, it's going to get the job done pretty good, and you're going to actually use it, and you're actually going to take advantage of the portability. This video isn't really aimed for those people, but if you are looking specifically into gaming laptops that are primarily geared towards playing video games, you are going to be very disappointed. So I'm going to tell you guys my story, my experience with laptop gaming, and why it still haunts me to this day as the worst video game experience that I have ever had. Just constant problems. I mean, every time a new problem would pop up, and it's just terrible. So let me give you guys the rundown. So it's my 14th birthday. This is around 2012. I was also very close to graduating from junior high school. So my parents wanted to get me a nice, expensive gift because it would be both my birthday present and my graduation present. So they spent a lot of money for me that year. And they asked me what I wanted, and I said, I want a gaming laptop. I don't even know what crossed into my mind to make me think that a gaming laptop was a great idea. I mean, I came in with zero knowledge about PC gaming. I was 14 years old. I was a console guy most of my time, most of my life. I played handhelds too, but I have no experience with PC gaming at all. So that was just a foreign thing to me that I had zero prior knowledge about. So I just went off what I've heard. I've heard about Alienware. I don't know, I saw commercials on TV. I've seen a couple things online, ads and everything. So I assumed that Alienware was a legit brand, and that if I got anything from Alienware, that it would be great. So I guess as far as my computer experience goes, I've always preferred laptops, the portability of the laptop, over having to sit in a desk all day and be on a desktop. I can take it to wherever I want to go, to do whatever I want to do. I can move it from room to room. I could pack it up, bring it to a friend's house, do whatever. You know what I mean? So I've always preferred the comfort and the portability of a laptop. So I assumed that positive experience would translate pretty well into gaming, because it's pretty much like you get the portability of a handheld in the sense that you can carry it everywhere you want to go. It doesn't have to be plugged in at all times, but the power of PC gaming. So I was very excited. So what I ended up getting was the Alienware M14X laptop. So here were the laptop specs. 2.3 GHz Intel Core i7-2820QM, which was a quad-core processor. And as far as the GPU is concerned, I had 8 GB of RAM, NVIDIA GeForce GT 555M with 1.5 GB of video RAM. So yeah, obviously right now those specs are just outright pathetic, but for 2012, when I got that laptop, I was able to run any game with relative ease. I don't know what happened, but a year and a half later, when I wanted to buy new games like Call of Duty Ghosts, for example, the game simply wouldn't run. It just simply wouldn't run. And from that point forward, any new game that I tried to buy, this is way before Valve's refund policy, so I'd be stuck with these full $60 purchases and not even being able to play the game. So within a year and a half of getting that damn thing, the laptop was already outdated. I mean, sure, I could play some of the older games that I was able to run before, but any new games from that point forward, from about late 2013, so the laptop only being 2 years old because it came out around mid to late 2011, it was already outdated. Okay, so what the hell was the point of putting down $1,200 for a new gaming machine that couldn't even do gaming in 2 years? Like, what? I couldn't believe that it was so outdated so fast. And sure, I mean, I had some expectations that a laptop might not be quite as powerful as a desktop machine, but that is really, wow. I still can't believe that to this day. Okay, so that's the thing about a gaming laptop, right? So it might have some specs that are outdated. So with a traditional desktop machine, well, you can simply upgrade as needed. In the case of my current machine, which currently has a 1060, a GTX 1060 with 3 gigabytes of VRAM. Yeah, in 2019, 3 gigs ain't gonna cut it. So I decided to upgrade to an RTX 2060 Super with 8 gigabytes of VRAM, and I'm able to just take out the GPU, put in a new GPU, and everything's running great now, because there were certain games that I wasn't really able to run that well, especially Doom. That was the game that really stuck out like a sore thumb, but most games I was able to run fine. But yeah, it's time to upgrade the GPU. But in the case of a gaming laptop, you can't really do that. You can upgrade your RAM and you can upgrade your hard drive, but the GPU and CPU are literally glued into the motherboard. So if you even attempt to mess around with that, I mean, your laptop is pretty much done. Like, you cannot upgrade it. And I know that they're starting to come out with upgradable laptops, like the Alienware Area 51M. But the starting price for that computer is $3,000. At that point, you can just buy a MacBook Pro for editing and a desktop for gaming for $1,500 each. So at that point, what is even the point of getting an upgradable laptop when it's not cost effective? Overheating is another big problem with gaming laptops, and I had so many experiences where I'd be playing games not even at ultra settings, just at medium settings. So Call of Juarez Gunslinger, for example, that was one of the new games that came out back then. I'd play the game not even in ultra settings, like in medium settings. I could run the game at ultra, but medium settings was really like, what I put it at, because I remember having like serious overheating problems, so I thought maybe lowering the settings would fix it a little bit. But no, the middle of the game, the computer completely shuts off as a defense mechanism because it was literally running at boiling temperature. I checked the CPU temperature right when I turned the computer back on. And this is a consistent thing when you're running games, not even at the highest settings, just running games, 98 degrees Celsius. That is just a cunt's hair away from boiling temperature, which is just incredible to think that your computer was literally about to boil from the inside, to melt from the inside, and it's just incredible how much these things overheat. I mean, it doesn't have good ventilation. In the case of my M14X laptop, the ventilation was at the bottom of the computer. But if you think about it, if you have the laptop sitting out on a desk, the ventilation, there's no way for the ventilation to go through. So what are you supposed to do? Have it on your lap or something, to maybe get some ventilation going, or just carry it around? I don't know how are you supposed to ventilate it, because I had it on a flat desk, on a flat surface and everything like you're supposed to do, and it's still overheated. So that's another thing that you need to look out for. And then battery is another great thing. I had to replace the battery on my gaming laptop once or twice every year. I mean, these laptop batteries cannot handle intensive gaming. It just can't. It can't handle it. So I end up having to upgrade to replace my battery every year or so, sometimes even twice a year, to the point where a couple years later, I'm just like, F it. I am just going to keep it plugged in the whole time and not even bother carrying it around anymore. So it's pretty much not even portable anymore. So the whole point of getting it is pretty much wiped away now. Because, I mean, those batteries cost a pretty penny, and replacing it every so often was just getting to be too much. So I just gave up and left it plugged into the outlet the whole time, which is just insane. Because then the one thing that it had over a desktop was completely lost. So it had to be constantly plugged in, so it wasn't even portable anymore. So expect that, because these laptop batteries aren't really strong enough to handle these high fidelity gaming experiences without going to shit over time. And then another thing about that you should consider, that maybe if I'm in a lecture hall with 100 people, I can just play Call of Duty while the lecture's going on, and I'm just going to be gaming instead of listening to class, and that's going to be awesome. Well, in order to really have good gaming experience, you're going to have a keyboard and mouse attached. So you're going to have a USB keyboard and a USB mouse, because the keyboard is not very comfortable, because, the buttons are all flattened out, so that they're kind of built into the laptop, if that makes sense, as opposed to a regular keyboard where the buttons kind of pop out at you. And it's much more comfortable and much more responsive than a laptop, where it's just so much easier to mess up keys and everything. And the trackpad on the mouse is terrible. I mean, the trackpad on a gaming laptop, or any laptop really, is just awful. And I'm going to tell you, for about a year, because I didn't have I didn't really want to have a mouse, because the way I played games is that I'd be sitting in my bed just with the laptop on my lap and playing games all night. Gaming on that trackpad is terrible. It's absolutely terrible. So if you really want to have a decent gaming experience, you're going to have a USB mouse and a USB keyboard, and at that point you can't really get away with sneaking a game or two in during a lecture, right? But, even in general, you'd have to have a USB keyboard and mouse if you really want a good gaming experience. So if you have a USB keyboard and a USB mouse, and your battery is so shitty that you have to keep it plugged in the whole time, at that point, it's not portable. It shouldn't even be considered a laptop at that point. One more thing, and this really stands out above the rest, so that's why I saved it for last. I don't know maybe it was just an Alienware thing, so maybe I'll give other brands a benefit of the doubt in that case, but with this specific laptop that I had a problem where if you kept opening and closing the laptop, maybe it was the design of the laptop, I don't know what it was, but at a point, and this was within 5 months of having that brand new laptop that cost $1,200, the left hinge snapped. My whole screen was messed up, and I had to get the entire screen replaced. So over time, not even over my whole time having the laptop, but just, I don't know, a year after having that machine, it cost me $500 to just fix the damn laptop. Replacing the screen cost a couple $100, replacing the battery, all these things I had to do just to keep the damn thing running. And it's just at that point, why didn't I just get a desktop? Why didn't I get a desktop? I don't understand why I got one. So this video is just a cautionary tale for anyone thinking about getting a laptop. It's just too much maintenance for a vastly inferior gaming experience. Even if you have a GPU that is similar in power to a really powerful GPU for a desktop, first of all, it's smaller, so it's not going to run quite as well, and with the overheating problem, it's going to start melting, and the performance of the GPU is going to wear out over time, and games are not going to run as well as they once did. So overall, I mean, you're not going to have a very good gaming experience that's going to last very long. And if you're a content creator, gaming on a laptop is also not very good, especially when it comes to recording gameplay. And this is something that nobody really talks about, but With a laptop, the resolution is scaled different to fit onto the laptop screen dimension. So if you want to do YouTube or share gameplay, it's going to look really awkward. Look back at my old gameplay videos back when I had this piece of shit laptop. And because the dimensions were different, because when you think of like in a regular monitor, right? Your dimensions are 1920 by 1080, right? Well, with this, it's like warped to fit the screen of the laptop. So when you record the gameplay and you try to upload that onto YouTube, the gameplay is going to look really awkward, and it's not going to be very presentable. You're gonna see black bars in your videos and your gameplay, and your viewers are not going to like it. So if you're a content creator and you're really serious about it, yeah, you're better off just getting a desktop at that point. But overall, the gaming experience on a laptop is vastly inferior to that of a desktop. Honestly, I would even say that console is a superior experience than getting a gaming laptop. I think you just have so many more problems on a gaming laptop than you would on a console, that if portable gaming is really something you're interested in, you're better off just getting a Nintendo Switch. You're going to have a much better gaming experience than these shitty gaming laptops that are just a waste of money, and they're not going to get the job done. So I hope this video was helpful to some people. I'm just thinking about 14-year-old kids right now, that if I watched this video back when I was 14, I was thinking about getting a gaming laptop, it would have saved me so much time, so much money, so much headache, and I would have just been better off getting a desktop. And I know, to those people who have to go on the go and everything, even for you people, it is not worth it. Do not get it. Don't. Alright. Just a PSA for all you gamers out there that are thinking about getting a laptop for gaming. You will regret it if you do. Trust me. Anyway, that's about it for today. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you later. Bye.